Broadcasting live from the mixed up world of Hyrule, this is the Link to the Past Randomizer Open Weekly Race. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Bobtastic, and joining me today on commentary is Rowan Katana. How you doing?
I am here. I am ready to get this race going. We have a fun one today on the standard weekly 7-7 open seed.
All right. So, open mode, as is the case, you're just going to start. You can start from either Link's House or Sanctuary. You don't know which one, and it's not required that you go through the escape sequence necessarily, though who knows if you're going to actually see that. But we will be starting rather soon, and here we are. Both runners starting from Link's House, getting a cape to start with. But
and while we have this quick intermission, give a shout out to our tracker Raka, who bravely volunteered today.
All right, and speaking of clothing, now we've got a blue male in the opening, or in the sanctuary, so plenty of armor-like things to go around here.
Yep, starting off with a big old bucket of safety pins to keep them going, and there is magic dust on Uncle.
Beautiful. Beautiful. We got some bombs from the initial tree pull here, so that's definitely something you want to find pretty early.
Yep, as well as the bow in the lamp chest. So we're going to be able to start doing stuff now, too, with that weapon.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see a dip into Hyrule Castle here. We do see that for Shroki. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. Like, you'd have to do bomb strats right now unless you happen to get some arrow drops. But and it doesn't look like we're even going to try to get arrow drops right now. We're just going to go right in.
Yep, there was a heart piece at Mushroom Place, and Lumberjack was a heart piece as well, so that one is dead.
Oh, hello, we got a Moon Pearl at the blind, or not blind, the hideout, Lost Woods hideout. Words are hard.
Well, to be fair, it is a Sunday afternoon for the East Coasters, and some of us really don't want to start working, yet here we are.
Fair enough. And Shroki heading for the boomerang chest here.
Doing pretty good with the bomb strats, so...
That'll do it. 20 rupees there as Josh heads into Blind's hut. There's some arrows to go with the bow that hopefully Josh will eventually pick up.
As well as bottle vendor money.
Very nice. Alrighty, we've got big key there and 300 rupees in Zelda Cell, so definitely going to have a significant amount of cash before heading to Kakariko.
Yep, and depending on what else we find in Kak, he might have Zora money as well coming out of it. A lot of bombs in the well.
Mm-hmm. Lumberjack was just a piece of heart. And we see our bottle vendor not quite understanding how capitalism works. What with the whole selling 300 rupees for 100 rupees.
think it's a tax write-off. Questionable
Maybe.
government currently.
Maybe the bottle vendor thinks he's running a loan operation, but he is never getting that money back. Alright, another heart piece from the back of the tavern, so Joss will probably go have a look at the library and then head for the race game. Just occurred to me that Joss's sprite is the guy from Harvest Moon.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to figure out what it's from. Oh, and looks like he's just gonna check it rather than do the blind run.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's the sort of thing you would pick up if you had gone for the blind run, but you might not if you just saw it. You know what I mean? Especially given the fact that you have blue mail already.
Yeah, and it's not too much of an upgrade, but we'll see. Maybe they'll do dig game, mirror over, and grab it. But yeah, definitely not necessary.
Look, I love me some coward mail, not gonna lie. I'm okay with this sort of thing. Alright, we're at the dam, and we've got 20 rupees in the chest, and we'll be doing a drain of the water in order to see the other item. Alright, 10 arrows. I thought he was gonna actually go for it. I mean, it would fill up your arrows at least.
Yeah, but not really necessary. Joss doesn't have the bow yet. Doesn't know that it's in play right now. So he's also gonna stay away from those South Shore checks for the moment. See what Agina has.
Things. I forgot about that it was Shroki that had the bow and not Joss. Anyway, speaking of Shroki, getting that 300 rupees from the bottle vendor, which takes us to Zora money, basically. Oh!
Okay.
Okay, we got a glove over to Gina's cave, which means it's a pretty good call to have gone that direction here.
Yep. I mean, personally, I probably would have checked Desert Ledge too, but we'll see what the crystal situation is if Desert Palace is needed. In this case, I would probably go for Waterfall if I'm gonna push up for Zora.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, just because if we don't find the flippers in South Shore, then obviously fake flipper up if we can. And there's really not a reason. Wow.
Okay, game. Thanks. Got a second glove in the back of his escape, so that grants some form of Dark World access here. Though Joss is going to apparently going over to Eastern. This is going to end poorly unless there's a second bow.
Yeah, or really any decent damage item. It looks like just 50 rupees on the island.
Meanwhile, Shroki also heading over to Eastern, but with a bow, so should be able to do quite a bit more. Might even go for the actual clear of Eastern here.
Yep, depending on if we find the lamp or fire rod, yeah. I think either way.
I mean, neither is strictly required here, right?
Yeah.
But logically, the game wants you to have it, but I mean, I still might go for it, depending on what the crystal situation looks like. Looks
Yep.
Like apparently, Ice Palace is our green pendant today.
Yep. I mean, I would go for it too, just if I was in Shiroki's position, because he just has a significantly better setup right here to do it now. And yeah, who cares about logic if you have good clears?
I will say the back dark room is a little more technical, a little more difficult than the front dark room, but it's not like super hard or anything. Now, Joss is going to go ahead and head to the Dark World here, which means they're going to miss out on that bow for a little bit.
Yep, there's still a decent amount of checks that they can do, though, so we'll see what happens. And there's a sword in Eastern Palace.
All right. Well, we've got all the information we could possibly want about our crystal situation. The other two pendants are Turtle Rock and Thieves Town, and it looked like our 5-6 crystals were Swamp and Skull Woods. So, Joss took a nice long look at the map for us there. Thank you. So I was able to get that all down in my head.
And it looks like the chest game vendor actually understands what capitalism is.
Seems good. So Shiroki has found 2 items here in Eastern already. If Shiroki could maybe get the big key in this first chest and then a item in the big chest, then that would allow Shiroki to skip that back dark room for sure.
Yep, and we have that big key, and yep, we found a blue goo.
There we go. That is all 3 items in Eastern. Just go to the boss. Yeah, blue potion over there in the C-shaped house. Shiroki is setting up to kill this Igor for the key. Does get a little bit discombobulated there. Gonna go ahead and step out. Might drop down for a fairy. Yep.
I mean, there's no point not doing it. He only has 3 hearts. Can't really afford to take a hit even with blue mail.
Yeah. And now a lot of the spaghetti monsters are dead.
Yep. And
I believe. But, yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
Sorry, I was trying to remember the name. I believe they're called Ropas technically, but whatever. Anyway.
Yep. So let's see. Can most people do dark rooms in the daily races? It really depends. Obviously, yeah, a lot of the tournament runners are very competent in them. Daily races and the weekly races get a lot more of the varied skill level. Like me, I can't do dark rooms to save my life yet. And so I occasionally still hop on these races.
Can you at least do Old Man?
I can do Old Man. That one took me an embarrassingly long time to get comfortable with, though.
That's okay. And one completed dungeon for Shiroki. Already got a crystal on the board.
Yep, 1303 for the first crystal, while Joss does the digging game. Like, I don't necessarily disagree with the routing that Joss is taking. Because it makes sense, because he hasn't done the front of Escape. But Escape's usually one of the first things I try and do as well, so...
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't blame it, because honestly, for me, Escape is something I try to avoid doing if I can help it. Because it's basically like an extra pendant dungeon. I mean, come on, man. That being said, we know that it's going to be pretty important. Sometimes it's like I said, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, and that's how rando do.
Yep. Let's see. Gloves were in Agina's cave. Mitts were in the back of Escape.
Yep. We're taking the frog on a little trip over here. And no real surprise here, Shroki going for the mini Moldorm cave, which is a little more common of a play.
Yep, we're gonna get 2 dense item checks right here simultaneously.
Oh, there's a hammer in the hype cave and a fire rod and another potion.
All right, so it's a good hype cave today. Let's see what Mini Moldorm gives us with half
magic ice rod, another sword, and a shield.
All right, so both of those checks really good, solid items.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's gonna do those checks eventually. Like I cannot imagine a seed in which, or I won't say I can't imagine it because I've seen it before, but
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a handful of seeds too, where one or both of the checks were orphaned. Usually, hype cave I feel like is the more orphaned of the two, just because of obviously placement.
Yeah, shout outs to Shroki with the choo choo powder there. Feels real good. It's hilarious. All right, a full heart finally for Shroki. Shroki been on 3 hearts this whole silly time.
And blacksmiths giving bombs. You'd think they would be a little bit more safe with what they're keeping around that forge.
All right, and Shroki going for the Agina's cave because at this point, that's all Shroki has left. Except do Aga in the dark, which sounds like a terrible idea.
Oh, obviously the back of Escape too, so he can get his mitts. Meanwhile, Joss grabbing his mini Moldorm cave checks and his South Shore stuff, so he's gonna be in a pretty good position here as well.
All set for that try next. We probably won't have to fight. That sounds about right.
True, but when Shroki goes over and grabs his height cave, he's gonna be set for Palace of Darkness, which I think is the bigger concern right now. Nice dense item location, crystal.
And the fire rod itself does in fact unlock a few things within Pod by itself. Though, honestly, if I'm in Joss's situation, I'm probably sitting here thinking Skullwoods first, but maybe not.
Yep, no, that's what I was thinking too. Skullwood seems the logical step for Joss. For Shroki, it's gonna kind of just be a pass by in the moment thing, just because he's gonna have so many more checks to be able to do.
Though, honestly, again, for Joss, you kind of wish that they would get over and get that silly bow, because that's gonna make pod less good if you don't have the bow. I mean, maybe you don't want to do the dark rooms going down to Helmosaur, but yeah, the bow is still a thing. We got the piece of heart. It's lining up for the reverse fake flipper from Hobo there. Pretty good.
I could not figure out what that was on Bumper Ledge because of the palette swap.
Well,
yeah.
I can only assume that if it was important, Shroki would have gone for it. Because they do have the cape and gloves.
Shield, okay. It was red shield. And Joss is going to go up and hopefully do this waterfall, get some money so he can grab the Zora check as Shroki enters into Skullwoods.
Nice little safety strat going to the left there to make sure you don't take damage, because, and this is something I just haven't heard brought up in coverage in a while. If you're fake flippering and you take damage, you die. That's the rule.
Yep, learned that the hard way.
Which is better than what normally happens in Link to the Past. If you in the normal version, if you take damage while fake flippering, you soft lock.
Yep, Joss is getting lucky getting that blue rupee, and there's the lamp on Zora Ledge, so
we
may or may not pick that up.
We might see a splash delete set up here. Well, no. With what items, right? Like, maybe it's possible to do it with, like, fire and ice rod and some stuff, but I don't know. I think you need a boomerang. Like, you would need the bow if you had it, but Joss does not have the bow.
Yep, and chat's basically saying the same thing. Like, obviously we know you need the bow to do it. Don't know if you can do it with the rods.
I'm pretty sure you can do it with, like, an ice rod and a red boomerang, but it's a really obscure setup that people probably haven't practiced, and I don't know it, so.
Yeah, and it's not like it's a life or death situation to grab that lamp. He has fire rod as long as he knows his locations on his dark rooms well enough. He'll be fine.
Alright, so Joss now heading back to West Dark World. This very well could be a trip into Skullwoods.
I mean, it makes the most logical sense. He can complete it, even though that's not going to be a particularly fun fight.
Alright, so going for the middle of Skullwoods here first. Not a huge surprise. Probably going to go for the middle and then head to the back first, would be my guess.
Nice combo shot with that fire rod, too, getting both of them.
Alright, Shroki heading into Thieves Town. Joss is going to stand here for a bit and go ahead and get grabbed. I think at that point it could have been faster to just walk out, but it's definitely safer to wait around.
Yeah, I think it would have been about even, like maybe a second at best to save just by walking out because of the statue push. But he's got everything he needs. He's gonna go ahead and hop back there and smack a bug around.
see Joss going for the traditional sort of intended route here, which, I don't mind because you get, filled up on hearts that way. And, I mean, it shouldn't be a problem beating Moth here. I mean, yes, he's on Fighter's Sword, but he's got the Fire Rod, and he's got, I think, 2 blue potions. So...
Yep, Shrooky doing the Death Warp out of Thieves Town, while Joss drops into Mothula.
All right. Big key found on the boss. And moving right along, that's going to be 1 crystal for Joss. And it is, in fact, one of the elusive 5-6 crystals.
Yep, and makes sense to go back in, make some of these other checks, since you only got 1 dungeon item.
Shrooky also grabbing the blacksmith, which is, again, something that Joss also did. So, gonna end with those bombs, but in the process, gonna get that hammer and fire rod out of Hype Cave. Joss gonna go ahead and take that intentional death to get the heck out of Skullwood's back end.
Yep, and highlights one of the wonderful problems of having mail upgrade and a lot of hearts early on in the seed. It took quite a bit of deliberate movement just to get that Death Warp.
I mean, at least you're dealing with Gibdos there, which are pretty cooperative usually.
Yeah.
And they're gonna deal a heart of damage every time.
And it looks like Joss is gonna go ahead and check that big chest.
Yeah. Well, Joss hasn't done anything in the front here, so yeah, definitely gonna go for it. Maybe do a bomb jump here. Doesn't have a small key. Not gonna go for the bomb jump, just gonna fall in a hole, I guess.
I mean, to be fair, that is one of the more annoying bomb jump in the games because of those 2 worms.
Mm-hmm. This is why I ended up learning how to do the little spin setup to make sure you're on the last pixel for bomb jumps. I'm just assuming you know what I'm talking about. I could be talking out of my rear end.
I have an idea. I'm still working on getting consistent bomb jumps.
Yeah.
So
basically what you do there is you act like you're about to walk off the edge of a thing while holding a spin, and then before you actually fall, you release the spin and then hold away from the hole. And yeah, there you go. And you end up on the last possible pixel.
okay.
Once the spin actually goes, right? So you'll release the spin. It won't actually spin until you're on that pixel. So you'll hold away from the hole, and then once you're in the right spot, the spin will happen. And that's when you release your movement, and you'll actually be on the correct pixel. Yeah, the double mids were pretty early. It's, I mean, it did require a trip to Agina's cave, which is kind of a huge pain, but there you go.
Yeah, but at least for Joss's position, it was the one that made sense, because bomb mini Moldorm Cave isn't fun, especially if you run out of bombs.
True. And I know some people who just like to break up South Shore into two pieces and get both Agina's Cave and Ice Rod Cave while they can, just to make sure you don't orphan those Sphere 0 checks. Sphere 1 checks, technically.
Yeah.
Not going to argue semantics on Sphere 0 versus Sphere 1.
Yep, just blueberries on hammer pegs.
Joss going for the purple chest here. Meanwhile, Shroki taking that newly found fire rod and gonna go for the boss here as well. Having a little more trouble with the Gibdos in this room than Joss did.
Yep, and luckily for Shroki, this is going to be a little bit of an easier fight when he does get to Mothula.
See now, you know what I want to see? I want to see just like a game kind of like Castlevania, except set in a world where everybody's insects. So you could have Mothula be the final boss of that too. What?
Okay. I mean, that almost feels like a like just a sprite swap Metroid Dread.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
All right, Joss finally grabbing his first bow, so he's probably kind of smacking himself a little bit, realizing how easily he could have had a very good item for the game. Now we're probably going to see him actually hop in and do Eastern Palace now.
Yeah. You might think he would want to do Palace of Darkness right now, but he would be a little bit disappointed if he actually went for Pod right now, on account of not having the money to get in. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I oh no.
I have cursed the runner.
Yeah, Hollow Knight would be a good approximation for your little game idea.
Okay.
I think it captures the tone a little bit.
I should play that at some point. Anyway.
Really good game. If you don't have it, a lot of places actually have it on sale right now.
Well, Joss is about to find out the hard way that this is not going to work.
I think he just realized it.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Good job.
Now, unfortunately, that means he has to go and do the Walk of Shame to Eastern Palace now. But at least it will be a relatively quick clear for him.
So Joss elected not to go to the rest of Escape, just got the bow out of the first area, which, although there's nothing actually super relevant there was 300 rupees in there, so that would have solved some of this problem.
Yeah, it definitely would have been helpful, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, because at least he has knowledge of Zora, whereas Shroki doesn't, which is going to help him a little bit more, because that's a little bit of a time. Like, it costs you a little bit of time to go up there and check.
Alrighty. So Joss now into Eastern Palace, going to be picking up the blue sword, the Master Sword, like you do. I believe the other items were just bombs and 20 rupees. Now, the good news is, and maybe you mentioned this, and my tired brain just decided not to notice, but there is a little cache of rupees here in Eastern if you remember where it is.
I did not mention it, but it will be helpful for him if he decides to go after it. I mean, I would.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you can do both palaces. Why wouldn't you do them together back to back?
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Shroki's gonna check
Go.
Pyramid Ledge.
All right. What do we have? We have 10 arrows, so goodbye.
Some very rudely placed set of arrows in this seed.
All right. Looks like Shroki's going to head over for Palace of Darkness now. Shroki, of course, having way more money than you need for pods. This will not be a problem. And Joss also correctly counting items and just heading toward the boss. That is a strategy you can employ that I just never thought about. It's like, oh, there's a torch at the top of the roof too. I always like turn right or left and fire.
Yeah, and you get the nice collateral taking out some enemies in the process too.
Yep. I mean, how long have I been doing this? Like, stupid amounts of time playing Link to the Past Randomizer, and I still learn stuff.
Yep, that's actually what led me to commentating, because I've been watching this for a couple years. I only picked up actually playing it in the last about year. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Josh didn't go for the 90 rupee cash here in Eastern, so I think there was a little bit of money over on Sahasrara, which Josh has not gone for yet. I don't think it's more than... No, I think there is a 50. I think there's a 50 in there. So if he goes for Sahasrara, he should be good for pod. I think.
Yeah. I think he may have forgotten about the the money hole. Like, you know, streamer's nightmare. You're restreaming, you forget basic stuff all the time.
And looks like he didn't go for Sahasrara this time either, so okay. I guess we're going to the mountain, which is a thing you can do. Shroki dealing with the first part of pod has found, I believe, one item and the big key. As well as a small key, and there's of course a lot of small keys in Palace of Darkness.
Yep, just gonna do the classic wrap around to grab it. Let's see, looking at chat, Joss did not splash delete because he did not have bow at the time, and we are unsure if he could do it with the rods.
Well, Joss, speaking of lamps and sequence breaks and things like that, Joss just picked up the flute on the old man, which means that the flippers are not going to be behind the flute.
That is correct, and it looks like Spectacle Rock had a third sword on top.
Piece of heart inside. And Shroki just found a mushroom in the back of Pod, and there's those
There's our
flippers we were
flippers.
talking about.
Yep.
And that is theoretically fire-locked fire.
The irony of having to get your fire to get your flippers to get your fire.
Shroki now going through the dark maze of Pod. You're going to want to go further down left there. There you go. Then across to the right. As you pick up the map, you go up, back around. And then work your way left and down, up into this little hole here. And then you go around the side and up to the top left corner for 20 rooms. And then you do what you can to get bodied.
I feel like you've done this dark room a bunch of times before.
Maybe. Things may have occurred. Or maybe Shroki's just going to walk out the door. That is a thing that has occurred in the past.
I think it's a little bit easier just to do that than try and find something to get bodied by.
True.
And Joss is grabbing his disappointment from Magic Bat. 40 minutes in. Was that 11 hearts?
All right, Joss fluting away to 6 like you do.
And to be fair, it is one of the more dense, immediate locations you can check. And Quake into Mire, so Joss is looking pretty good depending on what he pulls from this hut right now.
You can open the door right now, but you can't really get into the dungeon just yet on account of lack of boots and hookshot. Oh, it's not Quake, it's Bombos that they have.
Really?
That's what I thought. I just looked at the tracker and I was like, and it said, Quake. It happens. Buttons are weird.
Yeah, and I was reasonably sure I saw someone pick up Quake, but it's a Sunday afternoon, and hallucinations come naturally to people.
All right, so Shroki has had enough of trying to get out of that dark room. And Joss going for the Houlihan room. That is another blue rupee room, and there's plenty in there.
Is that?
So Joss will be going for that pod soon, I'm sure.
A little bit of a roundabout way to do it to get into pod, but okay.
Alright, 300 rupees on the island there, and Shroki is taking the flippers to go get stuff. Shroki's gonna go get that lamp and be like, why'd you have to be there when I needed it? Alright. Joss now entering Palace of Darkness, while Shroki will be heading up to the waterfall, Zora, and Zora's Ledge, which contains the all-important lamp.
Yep.
Interestingly, we still don't have anything that grants us access to, like, East Side Death Mountain or anything like that, which is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, It's interesting. Like, really, just we're lacking a surprising amount of access items currently. No mirror, no book, no hook shot.
In before one of those is in Spike Cave. Just to mess with you.
Nah, I'd laugh if it was Boots in Spike Cave, because I love seeing Boots in Spike Cave.
Yeah, Boots in Spike Cave and then Hookshot and Mire. That's the important thing. Required AGA is not happening. There's actually no way that could happen as far as I know. Not even Pyramid Fairy could be a problem because we've got the hammer. And we already know what's at the Lumberjack.
Yeah, at this point in the seed, I can't think of any reason why either runner would have to do AGA at all.
Alright, Strokey going to turn in the mushroom, which we did find in Pod recently. Jaws is going to go for that big key chest for a small key, like you do. Just 20 rupees from the mushroom turn in. I said no logical access to East Dark Death Mountain. Or East Death Mountain. We need mirror or hook shot. That's all right. It is possible that I did not enunciate correctly because words are hard.
Yep, and we've both already had our little moments. So.
All right, now Strokey is going to go for that flute play here. I was going to get the flute here in a minute. But as we know, the flute doesn't actually lead directly to anything that important. Joss is going to the boss in the dark here in Pod. Now we do have a fire rod, so at least the room with 6 turtles can be made a little easier. And the rest of these can be done sort of by feel. Alright, so Strokey sees that. And not going for Spike Cave either. Which again is entirely within logic at this point.
Yep, gotta love
the other thing up there.
Yep, gotta love when the logic says you have to brute force Spike Cave.
Yep. All right. So, if you'll indulge me for a moment, it's been a while since I've gotten to do one of these. Hey, let's all take a peek at the seat of the week and find the things you seek scattered around. You could find a nice rod or a fresh batch of bombs, but if you want to be gone, just play this sound. All right.
I'll admit that's the first time I've heard that.
They've tried to reduce the amount of singing on certain restreams, just because it can be of varying degrees of quality.
Gotcha, yeah.
I try to make my voice sound okay at least. So now, we had Joss finish Pod, or at least finish the boss. Hasn't quite gotten everything out of here yet. We'll be getting the flippers soon, I assume.
Yep, and Shroki about to get disappointed by hammer pegs, which is a theme in this seed. They do both have cape and half magic, which is one of the things that makes Spike Cave in Logic. And there's actually decent odds that the mirror is in it. Because it's in Logic, because we're kind of running out of checks, Spike Cave could have almost any of our progression items currently.
Yeah, there's very little. There's very few checks even left at this point.
Ed may or may not be dead. We are unsure because we really have no idea what it might have currently.
Honestly, the only thing that it could have that, or like, basically the only thing it could have that could be required is like Hookshot or Quake, perhaps.
Yeah, neither of
Maybe
those are.
Boots.
Yeah, and none of those are like items that you want. Like, obviously, you don't want to push and do ped regardless.
It can't be Kane because Turtle Rock is a pendant. And Shroki gets the 2 items out of Mire Shed, and once again, we are left with not much else. I think Shroki actually might be at last location here with Spike Cave, but or I guess the rest of Pod. Like, Shroki didn't quite finish Pod on account of the Dark Room being dumb.
Yeah, there's really almost no checks left in the at all.
Mm-hmm.
And they have access to the back of Thieves Town because they already dipped the front.
Yeah.
They haven't checked Catfish. I
guess Ice Palace is a play. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, speaking of Ice Palace, it's Joss going in.
Gross.
Yep, I mean, it wouldn't be an ALTTP RC without having to dip a pendant dungeon. And at least Ice Palace is entirely within Logic currently too, so.
See, the problem with your strategy there, Yurikov, is that you're not an adorable monkey. If you were an adorable monkey, people might pay to hang out with you.
Yeah, especially if you can provide them a service. Like getting them into places they shouldn't be.
Alright, and Joss is going to go ahead and go through Ice Palace the old-fashioned way on account of not having the cane here. There's definitely awful chains that can exist. And I find trying to list out the the worst chain to be a foolhardy exercise. No, not gonna lie. I mean, you feel free, chat, but I don't think I'm gonna engage in that particular discussion.
Yeah, I mean they all have a little bit more of free time currently to be able to do so. Let's see. Hello, Gillian.
Ice Palace bomb jump. Oh, close.
Let's see. We got Gillian22 in the chat asking how everyone's doing. We are doing fine up here. Today's seed is a 7-7 open, so 7 crystals to open Ganon's tower, 7 crystals to defeat Ganon, as well as open world state, so you're not required to do the beginning of escape, or really the entirety of escape.
Should be good. There we go. Joss gets the bomb jump. And Shroki takes down the boss.
Yep.
Alright, now somebody go to Spike Cave. I still like your idea of boots in Spike Cave leading to like Hookshot and Mire or something like that.
I think it would be funny to have boots in Spike Cave, Hookshot and Mire, for boots locked Quake in Desert Palace. To give us, I don't know, like Samaria on Bonk Rock so that we can finish out Mire.
Gross. Shroki is going to Spike Cave. Now, of course, this isn't guaranteed to be anything. We could just have something here in ice or something like that.
Yeah, but I think that's a considering the items and everything in the checks, it's a very good chance that it has something.
Nope.
That is the most rude thing I think I've ever seen, considering how many packs of arrows we have found in very rude locations.
We got hot garbage for days over here.
Unfortunately, that means Joss might be in the correct place. Well, unfortunately for Shroki.
Yeah. Shroki is, however, going to join the party here in a second. I think Joss might have not gone to the right side of the upstairs. Yeah, back at Thieves Town. I forgot. Nobody's done that. Which always seems silly to me, but then again, both times the runners were there, neither of them had the hammer, and they had found the small key, and, you know.
Yeah, and it's like they were in a decent position to almost full clear Thieves Town when they were in there initially. Like, I understand them not doing it because of how early they were in.
So this is technically a Cane of Samaria locked Ice Palace, at least the boss, because that small key is on Cold Stare.
It's super rude.
So there very well could be something on this green pendant, but it will not be the Cane of Samaria or anything leading to it. It looks like Joss is going to go for the rest of Escape here.
Honestly, unsure of how I feel about that. Especially because, I mean, we know what it has.
The Ice Palace Bomb Jump not treating us particularly well today, but there we go. Oh, there is something in Dark Cross. And neither runner knows what it is just yet.
I feel like that's one of those cases where if they find like a mirror in Dark Cross, we're all gonna be like smacking ourselves up the side of the head.
Mm-hmm.
If boots were in Dark Cross, I feel like that would probably be like one of the worst items to find there, just because you could have had a jet seed right out of the gate.
Gross.
And I think that's one of the things that consistently makes our runners angry, from what I've seen, is finding out later on that they could have had a jet seed if they had just checked something they'd skipped early on.
Looks like Joss is going for the Dark Cross the back way, which is a perfectly valid strategy, but you are still going to want to get this key off the rat here. It also looks like a lot of Ice Palace's hookshot locked here. There you go. There's you a single arrow at the Dark Cross.
Ow.
Alright, feels like the whole Thieves Town play might be a pretty reasonable thing at this point.
Yep, Dark Cross 10 times as rate as Spike Cave confirmed.
Accurate.
I don't fault either, or I don't fault how either of them have been routing and running through the seed. It just, like, yeah, Thieves Town felt like the right play a lot earlier on.
Joss is getting back in the portal at 5. I have no idea what he's doing.
He might be checking. I don't know if he got the dark rooms and the big chest out of the pod, or he might be doing like a really roundabout way to get to
Catfish.
Yeah. Yes, we Troki checked Spike Cave and got 10 arrows out of the ordeal after we had been yelling at both runners for maybe about a good 10-15 minutes to check it.
Oh, and I guess Joss has not done the pyramid yet either.
Yep, we are approaching the point where the disappointment in both of our runners is palpable.
5-6 is Skullwoods and Swamp Palace. And the lamp was on the Zora Ledge.
Yep, Meyer Hut has been checked. It had a big lot of nothing. And we need Quake to get into Meyer.
All right, Sharky now floating away. Float to 3. It is. So the back of Thieves Town is in play here.
Ideally, we find these items soon, but it's gonna depend on how they route.
All right, Catfish, what do you got? More garbage. Good lord, this seed is full of bottlenecks. I'm not just talking about the ones on the bottles.
I feel like this this seed took the general consensus that Thieves Town is almost like 0.9 of a set of overworld checks, and was like, well, we can throw a progression in the back of Thieves Town then, right? Like, they're gonna check it once they get access.
Yeah, sure.
And yep, I love the FF9 MSU. Love FF9's music in general. Hopefully it doesn't get us in trouble today. None of us.
I'm pretty sure FF9's on the improved list, but I could be making that up.
Yeah, I'm reasonably certain it was an approved MSU. Like I said, I just know some of these MSUs for Final Fantasy have been like note.
There's a
Here's our
hook shot in the attic chest of Thieves Town. Joss will be picking that up soon as well. Of course, that grants us access to a little bit of misery. Well, we would need the medallion for Meyer.
It gives us East Death Mountain, which is the big one.
East Death Mountain is the big deal. Quite the prize.
Yep.
And you get Tower of Hera while you're at it. Now, we don't have the mirror yet, so we would probably do the Light World stuff first and then move to the Dark World. But then again, who knows? Cherokee not going to peace out yet. Going to go ahead and look for additional checks here.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Still have the potential to get another item out of this dungeon, so.
Well, I mean, it's interesting, though, that Cherokee decided not to go for the big chest then.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking, too, because it's not like it was a particularly out-of-the-way check. That cost to, what, 10 seconds, I think, which can be the difference, but not a lot.
This is a travesty. They're putting this particular piece on blind, which lasts all of 3 seconds. You're killing me. You are killing me. Anyway.
Yep, I think Big Chest is an item since we have Compass on blind.
Did both runners skip it? Come on, y'all.
Yes, they did. But, I mean, Cherokee making the very, very logical decision here to go over and check Paradox.
It's possible that they're both map compass. I don't know where the map was.
I want to say they found the map in the front, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. All right, Shroki taking the hook shot over to East Death Mountain. It's time for Paradox Cave. Is Hookshot Cave in logic now? It absolutely is. We won't see it until after a lot of this Light World stuff, probably including a trip into Tower of Hera. But they'll get there. There's a book that'll allow us to go check that ether tablet while we're up here.
Yep, book gives us a decent number of checks. Unfortunately, there's let's see what there's 3 checks we can do with the book currently.
Yeah. I mean, depending on the layout of desert, but yes. So that's 300 rupees on the island there. And Shroki is going to go ahead and head to Tower of Hera. Probably going to do that and check Ether Tablet, maybe in the opposite order. Hey, there's Arcana Samaria right there.
All right. That's a like the implications of that are very interesting, and like having seen Ice Palace too.
I know there's the big meme that Phantom Ryu used to do with the cane, but in honor of Diablo 4, I want to bring back this minor one I used to do, where I used to say, "You have quite a treasure there in that cane of Samaria," and so it could be the Deckard cane of Samaria. Anyway, I'm done.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's looking like Mirror and Quake might be our go mode, depending on what's locking them.
Stay a while and get wrecked. I like it. Is Quake required for Meyer? Yes. So I'm actually gonna say there is a let's see. The probability that boots are still required is a little more than 1 out of 22 because we don't know what the layout of desert is.
Correct, and I honestly think that desert might be the next logical check as well.
So the actual probability is like approximately 52.27% that you need the boots right now. Because we did the calculations. The odds that desert is boot blocked is exactly 1/2.
All right, as Joss enters his Moldorm fight, Shroki's going over to check the pet, see what we have.
Hey, Lana. Thanks for joining us. And garbage, like you do.
Yep, It would have been a blow up in chat if it had been anything important.
And Shroki taking that book and going to Desert Palace proper here.
Yep, Moldorm is not being as nice to Joss as he was to Shroki. Yep. Welcome to the stream, Lana. You would have loved this seed from the get-go. It has been incredibly rude to both of our runners.
We got a small key in the first chest, so still a hope of it not being boots locked. And we are not boots locked here in Desert, but then again, we could have like Quake on the torch just to be, obnoxious.
I mean, I think it's obnoxious enough that you just grabbed the shovel from Pinky chest. This entire theme is very West.
And just the compass on the torch, so bailed out of that eventuality, and we will get to see what is in the big chest. Meanwhile, Joss going for the basement of Hera to get that red boomerang. Alright, so Joss is going to go for the spiral cave check. Now, I'm not convinced that Shroki went for, like, the whole, Dark World checks here.
Nah, Shroki didn't fully clear the available checks for Death Mountain, so...
Seems a little silly to me, but then again, I am sitting here talking and not running, and who the heck knows what I know.
True, and there is definitely was some logic behind Shroki's choice. Getting the book, doing Hera, noping out after, like, and getting some Maria on either tablet. So, like, it does make some logical sense.
Alright, we're going for Super Bunny Cave here on Joss's side, and we do know that there is in fact an item on the boss of Desert here for Shroki. And it's a whole lot of garbage, like you do. Alright. Super Bunny Cave.
At least Shroki's getting a consolation crystal.
Super Bunny Cave is hot, Garbo. And Joss is now going to head out here to Hookshot Cave. He is going to go ahead and check the medallion required for Turtle Rock, which is Ether. So we've got reverse vanilla today.
And also just not particularly nice if they have to dip into TR, because we have only found one medallion and we are an hour and 18 minutes in.
Alright, another bomb. 20 rupees and more bombs. Wow. Once again, just the sheer lack of items coming at us again. that book, really, the book and the cane are like the only super important things that have come out of here. At this point, I have to think that, I don't know what I have to think.
Yeah, like chat's saying, like, I think shovel having progression is probably one of the most likely. And then, yeah, there's still that little specter of Thieves Town Big Chest that both runners skipped.
Yeah, what is up with that?
Yeah, especially considering they had logical access to it, and it's right there, 10 seconds maybe.
Yeah. All right, just gonna reset. Gonna flute off. Assuming just 6, just for desert purposes. Yep. And now Shroki is sitting here like, what am I gonna do?
Watching this scene almost makes me wish they could make a game mode where all of the trash items in the game are replaced with 10 arrows.
But of course, you know, like Force Bow in GT or something.
Or even better, all the trash items are changed out to arrows, and then it does it dips a little bit from retro mode, so shooting your bow costs rupees.
Wow.
Come on, devs, get on it. I've seen your TED Talk. I know how you built this game. All right, here comes our shovel check.
Garbage again.
I don't know if I should feel disappointed.
You had me going there. I may or may not have just searched to see if there was a TED Talk on Link to Fast Randomizer. I'm like,
so no, there actually is. I don't think it was explicitly a TED Talk. I think it was a game panel, but the creators talk about how they created the randomizer and everything, and how they kind of had to reverse engineer a lot of things and deal with the assembly code to create this. And it's a fantastic panel, and really helps you understand kind of the inner workings of the game and why randomizer does some of the things it does.
Alright, so Shroki going back into ice. Yeah, there were a few things left in ice, if I recall, and some of it was logically hookshot locked, is the thing.
Yeah, I don't think either of them checked the big chest, so that is one potential.
I don't think anybody checked, like, the right side over here. Like, there was a lot that got skipped.
And I mean, it makes sense too, because they did find Big Key in a convenient location. So, in not having Samaria, nobody wants to do Vanilla Ice Palace as it is.
Gotta hit that switch. There we go. And map. We do need to see the big chest as well. This would be big B, honestly. Oh, there's our mirror. About dang time. My goodness.
Yep. That is huge, and I think that puts us at go mode -1 for Shroki.
Mhm. Now, here's my thing. I would be tempted to go get that tempered sword before I came to Swamp.
Yeah, no, I would too.
Just because tempered sword better than master sword always and forever.
Well, and you don't want to do Master Sword Ganon either.
Yeah. I don't want to do master sword Argus.
And yeah, it's fast. Tempered Sword's sitting right there at the top of Spectacle Rock, so it's flute over, go up there, 20 seconds. Especially because Shroki can do hook speed.
Yeah. Well, with what boots?
Do you need boots for hook speed?
Yep.
Okay.
Because the A is part of it. So you hit hook shot and A at the same time, and if you don't have boots, it doesn't work.
Gotcha. But in the same vein, Shroki has access to the entirety of Swamp Palace to check, so let's see what we get here.
So far, we've seen nothing but hot garbage. There was the required key in the first chest, and I believe it was vanilla map. So there are still 6 items in here, but we don't know what we're going to get.
Yep.
I think we're still awaiting the ruling on the clip there. That now currently exists in the Swamp Palace. But for now, just don't.
Yeah, I mean, being there for the first stream with that one too, like the logic for reasoning in either direction makes sense to me, but I think that it's probably going to be ruled allowable because the implication if they ban it is a little bit bigger.
Yeah, there's the way that the philosophy for allowing certain glitches in randomizer has gone. I think there's a lot of glitches that we currently allow that it would not make sense to not allow this one as well. But that being said, again, I'm not in charge of this, and that's why it's somebody else's job.
Yep. Can only speak as a commentator and a low-level scrub still learning the in and outs of this game.
Yeah, it's absolutely something that we don't add for the tournament, for the main tournament that's going on right now. You absolutely wouldn't add it in the middle of the tournament.
Agreed. It is a
like
huge,
you might add
saver.
it like between a whole stage. Like if they had discovered it before the brackets happened, they might have been like, okay, that would be allowed for this, but we still don't know. So that is not a vanilla big key, but it's close.
Yep.
I mean, I believe the tournament rules state that any new glitches found are considered banned until decided upon by the racing council. So, since it didn't exist before the tournament, then theoretically it was banned before the tournament. That's beside the point. Alright, so speaking of glitches, let's get this diver down going and we'll see. We got the blue cane and the boots. So, yeah, we'll take those.
Yep, and Joss is right behind Shroki, so, barring execution foils, it's not going to give Shroki too much of a time advantage this late into the seed.
And I think Joss actually skipped left side here, so. That's going to be a thing. Alright, Argus time.
Yep, and Argus may have what on. I didn't so I think we got all of our standard dungeon items. So.
Alrighty. Time for some fire rod shots or sword spins or whatever it is you're going to use to take down Argus.
Yeah, Argus said no to that quick kill strat.
Alrighty, what do we have? Tempered sword.
Our fourth sword. Alright.
You could have had gold at this point, that's all I'm saying. Anyway.
Yeah, like it really tears you now. Like, do you skip the remaining sword on Spectacle Rock, or do you just take it for the memes?
I mean, there's a reasonable route up to GT that actually picks that up. So, like,
yeah.
I mean, not everybody's gonna want it, but again, I've never claimed to be good at this game, so I'd probably go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably go for it too, just because I'm that type of person. The difference between Bacon and Gold Sword, there's our Quake on Bombos tablet.
Mm-hmm.
Tempered Sword is one of the largest damage jumps you really have. So if you can get it, it's absolutely worth picking up. Gold Sword doesn't really add much in the way of damage for most of the game, and there are actually certain spots where Gold Sword can hurt you. And yep, at 131, Shroki is in go mode.
Now, Gold Sword's only really gonna hurt you in the vanilla game, and the randomizer, in the places where it would hurt you, its behavior has been changed to that of the Tempered Sword. But in both cases, you need to definitely make sure to not spin in that application.
Yeah.
Very nice Mire 2 from Strokey. Forgetting you have boots is a time-honored tradition that I am happy to be a part of.
Same. And it's funny too, over 25 years of playing Link to the Past and now playing Randomizer, I didn't even really connect the dots that how much of a buff to mobility having boots was until I started watching Randomizers too.
Strokey. So we get the big key on the bridge here. It's not mandatory that you attempt the hover here, but for the swag, like, you can attempt it once. and then fall in the hole, and you'll be back at the front of the room. All right, Croaky now heading through the dark rooms of Meyer. Oh, Joss never picked up the lamp off the Zora ledge, but is doing a nice job taking care of the dark rooms nonetheless.
Yep, it seems like Joss might be pretty comfortable with this specific dark room, and definitely with the time saves he's been getting. This is going to be a very close mire.
Switching to the arrows to take down Vitreous, and that's going to be crystal number 7 for Strokey, which means it's time, if you are so inclined, to make your predictions about where you think the big key of Ganon's Tower will be. There are 22 possible locations, and that's why people put in numbers from 1 to 22 just to see what we come up with.
Yep, I think this time I'm going to go with a solid 7.
All right. All right, so Strokey is not going for that gold sword. Let's go see what Joss does here.
Hopefully the same thing. Gotta say, this is generally one of my favorite parts of Seeds, when you have two runners pretty much neck and neck by the time, or when they get to GT. So it's really going to come down to who chooses what side and where that big key is located.
See, Strokey has activated this portal and is going to go ahead and take that. Joss has not activated the Turtle Rock portal, and therefore is going to go ahead for this lower portal here. I believe it's been timed, and it's still theoretically faster to do the Turtle Rock portal, even if you haven't opened it. But that being said, you have to have the Dead Rocks have to, cooperate and all those sorts of things.
Yep, I believe I've seen the same thing. Execution and cooperation all being the same. It's a little bit faster to do bottom in the TR portal.
Strokey doing the first two chests in GT, not finding a key, so we don't even have a choice about which way to go just yet. Our torch has a small key. Gonna go ahead and pick that up because you're gonna need some amount of them.
Yeah, but I think
moving right along.
I think it's what, 2 or 3 keys you need once you start making your climb.
Really, you only need 1 once you get to the top, or once you're climbing, because you can kill the Helmosaur on the way up, and you'll get the second one. But you'll often want to do some more of these checks here, and keys can facilitate that as well.
Alright, so that was 6 with nothing. Here comes 7.
Stroke switching to the Cane of Samaria for some easy switch strats here. Shoutouts to 2 to the 10th power rupees, by the way. They're on Strokey's side.
Yep. Chat over here viciously correcting me immediately. Yep, I keep forgetting that Torch is considered the check for this.
Sure is. All right, number 9. Okay, so that's the third key we found in a check, which means that the tile room could now contain the big key. If that wasn't a small key, then tile room would have been required to be a small key at that point. There's Ether. So there's no chance of getting into Turtle Rock here. And we still see nothing in the rando room. So we're going to head toward Ice Armos. The execution between these two runners is pretty close. Josh seems to be gaining a little bit of time here. There is the fourth and final small key of Gen's Tower, and we're into the Ice Armos fight.
And the very real possibility of a vanilla big key.
Alright, we'll walk in for the vanilla big key chest. It'll be number 15. It's a piece of hearts, 16, 10 arrows, 17, 50 rupees, and we're going to the right side. Now, is anybody going to go for the madman play of hitting up the tile room first? Strokey is declining and heading to the compass room. Strokey doing the torches in a bit of an interesting order, but hey, as long as you can get to the door in time, that'll do it.
Yep, and now we're going to see the frustration on Joss's end as well. And
there it is, 18 for the big key. And Strokey gonna go ahead and, or was going to check those chests, maybe for the silver arrows. Did not find them.
Yep, and looks like nobody got it. Our closest was Dugor with 19.
Okay. Alright, Strokey into the mimic rooms. Very quick gathering the mimics and moving on. And Joss setting up the mirror, but not quite leaving. Was not the silver arrows in the top left chest, so that's a little bit of a nicer situation. Strokey probably going to check some more chests on the way up. If I had to guess where the silvers are, I'd say they're probably just sitting in Turtle Rock just to be obnoxious.
Yeah, probably on Laser Bridge or Mimic Cave. It seems to like to put them on Laser Bridge.
Seems legit.
But in the same vein, yeah, I also think that it is worth checking just in case you do get lucky.
Alrighty. Rogi dealing with Landmo 2 here. Needs one more hit, and that'll do it. Probably going to want to pick up a little more magic here, and does so. Switching to the Queen of Samaria to do some rather nice kills here. Gets a little bit slow kill there on the 4th guard, ends up getting a 2nd cycle of the guard. It's a Wizrobe. 2nd cycle there is definitely going to go for Lance. Missed the torch there. Yeah, definitely going to go for Lamp Strats here on account of not having much in the magic department.
Yep, and it's given Joss just that much more time to catch up as well.
Alright, so we do have 2 keys here, so we don't need to kill the Helmosaurs. I'm still opening the chest if I'm Troki.
Yeah.
Troki going for one of them, not the other.
I mean, it makes sense. He did lose a little bit of time in the torch room, so better to grab one, possibly get the one in here, and then just cut your losses.
Alright, Shroki heading to Moldorm 2. Nice and easy. Joss is going for both chests, just finding 10 bombs, 50 rupees in the final chest. So yeah, the silver's not really anywhere to be found here, unless perhaps they were in Tile Room, which is not great.
Yeah, like if they were in Tile Room, I would feel decent about spending the time to actually get them. But I'd also feel like really bad because I'd have to do Tile Room to get them.
Yeah. Alright, so Shroki dealing with our Wizard of Geometry here.
Yep, and I think that was a double single.
Nice.
And it tripled it.
Triple there. Yeah, I think it was actually just singles on the first 2, because the way the hits.
130. Yep, chat's
Joss getting the double on phase 2. Not going to be able to get a triple here though, because it's a blue ball. Nice Final Fantasy reference in the canon text there to go with the music. Different Final Fantasy game, but whatever.
Yep, after a point they all just start bleeding together.
Fair enough. Probably going to say the same thing about 16 here in a bit. So get no fights from me.
And not from me either.
Already into phase 3. Yep, Turtle Rock, as I predicted. So we're doing spin strats. Shroki does get a very nice torch glitch. I imagine there's still blue potions available. Yeah.
Yep, they haven't. Neither of them have used their potions, so.
So if you want the triples, okay, well this will work for a triple. But usually what I like to do if I'm getting triples is I like to charge the spin beforehand, before I shoot the fire rod.
I'm just happy that they're basically neck and neck for this fight.
Oh yeah, this is a very, very close race. Trophy running kind of low on magic, but is going to go ahead and refill. There we go, Shiroki finishing off Ganon. Needs to cross the bridge in one piece here.
Yep, everybody give GG the Shiroki. And Joss is just shortly behind them.
Josh finishing 10 seconds according to the official time. Official time for Shiroki would be 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 29 seconds. Joss having an official time of 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 39 seconds. So very, very close.
Yep, which gives
runners.
Shiroki first place on Restream, 5th place overall, and Joss right behind him with 6.
And if you'll give us half a second, both of our runners here have joined us in the booth here.
Yep, and while we wait for them, Quake Medallion was their go modes.
Hello.
Hello, GG's.
Hello,
Hello.
GG's to both of you.
Yeah, GG's, Joss.
10-second difference. Really, like, Meyer was where you guys started really converging. It was a wonderful second half of the race. But how do you guys feel about that seed?
For me personally, too much Tears of the Kingdom, too much Street Fighter 6, not enough Link to the Past. I played awful.
Yeah, I played I was terrible. I mean, I hard last located the mirror.
I think I was pretty close. I don't think it was last, but it was pretty close. So many double dip.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, both of you definitely almost completed all of the checks that you could have by the time you guys picked up your mirror and then Quake.
Yeah, I left one item in Ice Palace even.
Yep, same.
You do the front four in Thieves Town because you don't have hammer and you don't want to leave anything there, but...
Yep, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, we thought that you found the map of Thieves Town. Did we miscount? Because both of you skipped the big chest.
No, bombs in the maiden cell was the 4th item.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 items. We didn't need.
So we're hot garbage at counting. That's
There's
fine.
two in the front, hook shot up in Zelda's cell and bomb, or up in the attic and bombs in the cell. So 4.
All right, that gives my or sets me into what's the word I'm looking for? It fixes my brain page, I guess.
It slightly soothed the senility that had been setting
Yes,
in over the course of
that
this.
is the word I was looking for. Good job. I'm getting old and my words don't work anymore. Anyway.
So I think one of the funnier points is what was going through both of your heads when you realized that you had to go into Thieves Town?
Oh, I thought, of course. I chose ice instead of Thieves Town because it was 3 items to 2. But then when a small key was on Cold Stare, I knew that Mirror couldn't have been on, or Cane of Samaria couldn't have been on the Green Pendant. So I was like, oh, it has to be Thieves Town then.
Yeah, and I think the way it was situated, like there were at least a couple of, like, that whole right side of Ice Palace was technically locked by the hook shot anyway, right?
Yeah, the hook shot, not the Cane of Samaria, sorry.
Yeah, the Foss was locked by the
Cane
Cane of Samaria.
Cane would have got us there too, but different way, obviously. Icebreaker.
Yep, it's interesting choice of routing that the seed had chosen to get through this.
Now, early game, there was quite a bit of divergence between you two, as I believe it was Joss who decided to go for the early Agina's Cave play and got that glove real quick. Unfortunately, that did leave Joss not checking the uncle area until much later, and not coming away with that bow. And so, kind of a trade-off there between them. But again, it sort of converged to a rather close time there at the end. So, I mean, I can't complain.
Oh yeah, and I mean, at least I got the bow before I dipped Eastern or Pod. I just wish I had had the money when I was going to Pod the first time.
Yeah, I was making a little comment. I'm like, this is not going to end well for Joss. And then you figured it out before you got to Kiki, so you at least avoided the tax there.
Oh, and my finest moment, getting lost in the dark maze in Pod.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I do that 10 straight times, no problems. I'm on stream once. I get lost.
Well, it's funny, while you were doing it, Doctor was actually narrating all the movements through it, and they're like, oh, you've done this a couple times before, haven't you? As you could hear the PTSD start setting in.
But my instructions ended at that top left chest, and then my instructions said, okay, find something to die to, because I'm not used to walking out of that thing either. So I would have been just as lost.
Yeah. Oh, did you hammer jump?
Yeah, I hammer jumped.
I didn't have the mirror, so I killed Helma first, and then I got to the top corner, and it's like, oh, well, that's the last item, and I just saved quit.
Yeah, that probably should have been what I did without the mirror. I accidentally killed all the dongos in there with sword spins, so I had no bombs, not enough bombs to kill myself with 9 hearts and blue mail. So
I'm sure you felt real good about going up to Zora after that and finding the lamp there.
Oh yeah, that was delicious. Yes.
Yeah, neither runner was able to do sort of a splash delete to get that. Joss, when Joss was up there, didn't really have the setup for it. Didn't have a bow, didn't have any of the other known setups for that, and then, of course, Cherokee actually had the flippers out of Pod at that point. So.
Yeah, but I had the fire rod at that point, didn't I? I went to mute the lamp.
Shout outs to Fire Locked Fire again, though. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And Hype Cave being actual hype.
Yeah,
that's awesome. A real thing.
I was scared I was going to have to go back to Feast Town for the hammer. And then Hype Cave came through in the clutch.
Yep, both Hype Cave and just a South Shore checks. Really, really good distribution of items this time around.
All right. Well, you know what? It was an absolute pleasure to watch the race between the two of you. It's so close on Restream here. I don't think we could have asked for a better matchup here. So yeah. Just before we wrap things up here today, what do either of you two have anything else you want to say?
Nope, just GG's, Josh. Sorry I got you by 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, I was just entering the fanfare, and it's like, well, whatever. This seed was terrible. I was not enjoying it. But thank you for the restream. Thank you for all the volunteering. Thank you, comms. Thank you, trackers. Thank you, restreamer. We appreciate you.
Yeah, ditto that. Thank you all.
All All right. Once again, want to thank both of our runners here, Shroki and Joss, for putting on, again, an excellent show. Couldn't have really asked for a better race. I want to thank our tracker, Raka, for taking care of all the buttons and paying more attention than I did to all of the things. And of course, I would like to thank my co-commentator, Rowan Katana. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Absolutely. It was wonderful having you and Raka and our 2 runners on Restream as well.
If you liked what you saw here today, make sure to give these runners a follow here on Twitch for more of that action. And I'm sure they will not disappoint. But basically, yeah, with that, I'll say thanks everybody for watching. I have been Dr. Bobtastic. I will see you all at a later occasion, and I will leave the last word for my co-commentator. Good night, everybody.
Yep. Thank you. Everyone, have a good rest of your night and a good week. Hopefully, it provides you with everything you all need.